Hello and good morning, everybody. I'm Ronan and Shane, and we got a new trailer, y'all. A new Star Wars: The Mandalorian Grogu trailer. Um, this shit was good. This shit was good. I'm joined with Brent, Age of Grogu, and Joypad Jake.
Hey,
Muchachos, how we doing?
Doing
good,
good.
good.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay,
Feel like I just saw you.
dude. Yeah, wonder
Yeah.
how that worked out. For those who haven't seen the trailer, please go watch it. Let people know about it. Go watch it, and then come back and hang out with us because we're breaking it down. And um, before even we start putting up the visuals, because we're gonna bring up the trailer. But like, I want to hear everybody's immediate thoughts of seeing this play out. And I'll start with Brent. Brent, we talked
Yep.
about like, yo. The trade for reporting we were gonna get something at Super Bowl. We didn't. We got that
Yeah.
commercial that people got up in arms about. I have my thoughts about it. We've all shared our thoughts on a previous stream, and
Yeah.
then not even. And I thought they were going to wait till the 22nd to memorialize. Oh, we're 3 months away. Here's the trailer. And then yesterday they're like, here's a little preview.
Mhm.
Mañana, the trailer's coming out.
Yeah.
How do you feel now having seen the trailer of what they've offered us insight to?
I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. It's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I wanted the Mandalorian trailer to be. We are
Mm,
not going to be getting anything that is groundbreakingly changing for this story. It is a popcorn film, kids. It's purely entertainment. So if you're going to go in and try to criticize this kind of film, sit there and just remember, just be a kid, eat some popcorn, and watch hopefully an enjoyably fun action film. It's not going to be groundbreakingly changing to any grand scheme level of the Star Wars universe. That being said, I did enjoy the fact that we didn't see um, any same footage that we saw in the original trailer. We saw all brand new footage pretty much, and it was good for them to move on. I think also, there was a bit of a backlash to a certain degree from the Super Bowl, um, and it's obvious that they had to really step their game up on what they needed to show the audience, how they needed to show it as a trailer, and we got a good 2 minutes and whatever seconds of footage from the film that looks really fun, beautifully done, and I'm looking forward to it. Simple as that.
all right, Jake, you've seen it. How do you feel about it?
Um, kind of to echo those same sentiments. I like that it felt not only right at home in the Star Wars universe, but also it felt like what people who have seen the series know of the Mandalorian and Grogu as. Like it didn't feel like it was trying to be anything too different. It felt like what we knew, but also I can imagine somebody who isn't familiar with that series, um, looking at this trailer and going, "That's something new. That's something different." And then they would watch this movie, and ideally they would look at it and go, "Oh, there were 3 episodes of TV before this, or 3 seasons of TV rather. Now I want to go back and see this." That's the effect that I hope this movie creates. But similar to what Brett said, it's not trying to be anything that's groundbreaking, scope changing, anything of that regard. It's self-contained within this part of the bigger world, and the fact that we're getting a really personal story too. It seems like between these characters, and not something where the fate of the galaxy is at stake, which has been the case in so many different Star Wars projects before, and it works for some of those, but you're really getting into the nitty gritty with these characters and the different parts of the world that they are in. So I really think they did something good here with this teaser. I liked, and like he said, there was all new footage here. There was no recycled footage that you saw, which can sometimes be irritating when trailers do that. So yeah, and I was one of the people. I didn't have any issues with the little bit that they did for the Super Bowl, that commercial. I didn't have any issues then, and I loved what they showed today.
Nice. Yeah. Is it's yeah. I really like this one. And before we even get started, like this trailer, I think was, and I think wisely, very much aimed for anybody who hasn't seen the show. and it brings up a lot of stuff. There's familiar stuff for those who've seen the show. It's like, oh, okay, the buttons thing, the whole team up, and like the training with the kid and whatnot. And yeah, there's a bold choices with this trailer. But before we get into it, I want to highlight a couple of comments we already have. Harrison James says, Embo baby, yes sir. We'll get into that very much. So what's good, fellas? Hope you're all well. Hope you're doing well, Harrison James.
What's up, Harrison?
Just like fun of adventure, and I'm all for it. Brent, Age of Grogu. Says, how is Jake here?
I don't know.
Phil, if you want to talk about this, be a part of it, let me know, and I'll send you a link. It's giving season 1 adventures mixed with season 2 and 3 Mando Grogu relationship. Okay, I can see that. I can see it to an extent. But yeah, I think that, man, I feel good now. A few months into the film, I feel good now about where we're gonna go and how they're at least the material they've chosen to showcase. And
did you not feel good before?
I didn't. It's not that I didn't feel good. I was just like, okay, I'm already there, but like I want to make sure that like word of mouth, the vibe is there, especially for people I'm not used to talking. If the people online or in the real world that I don't particularly talk to on a regular basis, but they bring up to me, oh, there's a new Star Wars movie coming out. Are you seen that? You're a Star Wars guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that if when I hear that, I'm like, okay, good. It's a bad word to use, but it's spreading. Like it's out there now. Like it's everywhere. And you know what? Let's just play the trailer, and we'll see how. It's interesting how I feel now seeing it through different lenses, and I don't know. I'm very curious. I haven't seen it again in a while because I've been editing and setting up thumbnails. So I haven't seen it multiple times. So I say let's check it out and see how we feel because even the music.
It's a very Lion King style opening shot there.
Yeah, we've seen the sun shot a few times in previous incarnations.
Hey. Never touch the buttons.
I like that's a going gag.
Yeah. Dude, this. I was like,
give you some information.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, for this price, I'll tell you whatever you want.
I'm looking for a hut.
Close for the night. Thank you.
Gangsters.
That looks so gorgeous, that shot. I want to make a palace. Mimic the setting of that.
We'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
This isn't about revenge.
Whoa.
It's about preventing another war.
So gorgeous. We've got a couple of the commando droids. Embo looks so freaking cool. I realized that was the hot voice afterwards. Embo has got
Before going into harm's way, check your armor.
Did you think it was Embo talking?
I thought it was talking at the beginning, and
beyond me.
when it cut to the huts, I was like, oh man,
Be around to protect
this is a gorgeous shot too.
Are you scared?
Look at Road of Art.
You should
I like
be.
this character too. And this we saw in the Clone Wars, this creature.
Or do we fight?
I like this kid.
Yeah, Zeb Orrelios.
Yes, Zeb, I love Zeb.
So these creatures get loose in the street. By the way, this reminds me of the little tiny toy Rhodian that was in the stores about 3 years ago. When Baby Grogu came out, they had all these baby lots of baby Rhodians.
Let's save the rest for after dinner.
I do say I like the running gags. Just off the top, there's the running gag about every time he hits the buttons in the Razor Crest, and the food gag has been continuous throughout the course of the Mandalorian series. So it's kind of fun that they keep little gags in like that, just because they work. You know, they're silly, but they work.
Yeah, dude. Okay, another friend of ours is joining us. Unfiltered Phil. Phil, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey.
I'm good,
How's Phil
dude.
How's
I
it
don't know,
going?
man. It's just the internet. It's the way
I was
things
just shocked
work out,
Jake's here
man.
because I thought he'd be at work, but here we are.
But yeah, well, before we even start breaking down, Phil, I haven't talked to you about it. How you feel about the trailer thus far?
Oh, I was over the moon. I heightened my expectations with this the moment it was announced, and even before it was announced, they made it clear the Mandalorian and Grogu were going to go into a movie at some point. So, I mean, I've always been in the camp of like that this was kind of inevitability. I would just say that the conversation surrounding the perception of Star Wars is just muckier than ever. But in terms of this movie specifically and how that folds into the conversation, I guess it's like this trailer really for me kind of I feel like we're kind of in the same boat in that like we were already going to go see it, but I think you and I have something in common in that we're always curious what the public perception is going to be of an upcoming movie or project, right? Yeah. And sometimes we hope for the best, and it may not end up always being the best. And with Star Wars, that seems to be a unfortunate recurring theme with some of these projects where the audience just didn't show up, unfortunately, with something like Solo or Acolyte. And, you factor in the ugliness online too. Like, I don't know, man. Like I'm all for this as a fan of like Rebels, as a fan of the Mandalorian, as a character and the show in general. Like I am over the moon. And I feel like this, if people were like kind of on the fence about this movie, I feel like this trailer has a really good way of probably putting people more on the favorable side of the fence. I would say, I don't think this trailer is going to change the minds of the people who are so adamant in that this is a travesty and a disaster waiting to happen every step of the way. They're going to make their content one way or the other, just drown out the noise, IMO. But overall, yeah, this looks incredible. I'm very excited to see the Rod of the Hutt v Mandalorian fight. That's going to be interesting. I am kind of wondering, like, Din Djarin says some very specific things there about how he's not always going to be there to protect the kid. Yeah. And I'm like, are you guys going to pull a Rogue One and kill him in this movie?
Oh, dude, I would
hope that would be a move on their part, right? But I don't see it happening because he's just too popular.
Yeah, I agree.
There's still a lot you can do with the character.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Completely. Yeah.
Yeah, I
also,
think that
real quick, just this shot in particular,
dude.
I think you and I talked about it in the Discord a lot of, some people online are like, oh, they're just, nostalgia baiting from The Force Awakens. I'm like,
no, it's Apocalypse Now.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm like, have you never watched Apocalypse Now?
Clearly, a lot of them haven't.
Obviously, yes.
I was telling Phil that I'm like, oh yeah, when people watch Mandalorian, they don't realize, especially those who don't notice what they're particularly referencing and what they're choosing to highlight is like, oh, if you haven't seen a Sergio Leone or Kurosawa movie, all this is going over your head and you're not noticing how, like, if you're a cinephile, this is like bonkers.
Oh yeah,
bonkers.
Yeah, this trailer definitely did. Like even the shot of just Grogu sitting there meditating in the forest. Every frame of that image is a gorgeous image. Is as gorgeous as what this image is right on the screen here. And so that they did not show off in the first trailer, or the re-edit of that trailer.
Right.
And we got scenes and moments, and I liked and respected that first trailer for what it was, because they really just gave us moments, but it wore off pretty quickly. Leaving us to wanting more, I think. So
chat, Taj is here saying, what's up, chat? Taj, if you want to be part of this, just let me know. I'll send you the link.
I think
what you're saying, Phil, or somebody else was making
when I think about this movie in particular, I'm also reminded of, like, if you look at some of these shots in this trailer specifically, you jump to other movies that Jon Favreau has directed. Because remember that for the longest time, the man has been predominantly on television for the last few years. He has not made a movie since I think, oh man, what was it in 19?
It was Lion King.
Lion King, that's right. Yeah.
It was his last feature. Yeah.
Last feature film was Lion King. So he's, I'm excited to see a return to form from him, from Jon Favreau, and this will also be, if I'm not mistaken, Filoni's first script on a movie.
And people have their varied opinions about that 2019 Lion King movie, but it made $1 billion. So
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but maybe Dave co-wrote the Clone Wars movie, which technically it's a movie. It was out for people to go watch it, but like I think this is the one where
Right.
like it's live action,
Yes.
and it's him and Johnny. And usually, again, I could be wrong. My memory might be wrong, but like usually whenever they co-wrote something, it is sweet and it has a lot of suave of like cohesive story. And then if you've been following this stuff, we don't leave you behind. There's plenty of stuff for you to pick out.
Oh, absolutely.
Before we start picking things out, I know Harrison James said that he says that he loves the old OST stuff, like going into the Mandalorian OST at the start. Yeah, that's great editing, great sound mixing up there at ILM and the Skywalker sound. Zeb, my boy, dude, I am so happy. Out of all the characters that has gotten so much like between the show, the Rebels, and now this is like Zeb of all people, and I love that choice. I wonder if Dave's going to voice act Embo like he does in the Clone Wars. Although I would hope so. Shocked if he wasn't involved. And again, I think even when like Brent would bring up, like I'm pretty sure that voice of like first you were softer than you, and I think that was the Huts. That was the Huts.
Yeah, it threw me because Embo's doesn't have a English dialect. And it's just like Chopper when Dave Filoni voiced Chopper, he said the words that Chopper needed to pronounce in a droid form, and they augmented it. So,
correct me if I'm wrong. Were those the same Huts from Book of Boba Fett?
Yes, they are. The twins.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Buff Rada is reminding me of Gracchus the Hutt from Legends. I would not be surprised if they took a look at Legends and was like, what can we do? And again, they said like if we can't use the character fullest, we'll then we'll invent something else. But I don't think they shy away from the iconography of stuff like Gracchus the Hutt. They brought back Embo. They brought Embo.
He looks so good in live action. Just the imagery for a few
right?
seconds.
Yeah.
For the few seconds, he looks awesome. Yeah. And honestly, I put Embo as one of my top like 5 to 10 bounty hunters. I love the design. I love the character. I love the lankiness of the character and the fact of the agility that character has just in the Clone Wars by itself, not including what we're going to see in live action.
So we get the very, like Phil was alluding to, the very Apocalypse Now moment with this trailer and this moment. And then we get an R2 unit and this landing stuff. I already heard wild theories that like, yo, is that the Falcon? Is that, is that the Ghost? No. I would freak out and I would love that, but I don't. And again, it's weird that I'm thinking for the general audience. I don't want them too stuffed. I don't want them to get so much in their way. It has to be a very simple, basic story. And then you can throw in stuff even towards the end, or even a reference of like, oh yeah, I have this crew. You're not the first Mandalorian I've encountered a kid or whatever. Like, Zeb addressed them. So we get an R2 unit, landing pad, and we get, again, a lot of this stuff is for those who haven't seen the show. We see him booting up the Razor Crest, and it's him and Grogu that's pushing the buttons.
Right. Yeah, like, I get a sense of who the characters are. They're not trying to give too much away with what's happened. They just want to sell the characters, so you want to go sit with them for however long the movie is.
And I'm assuming this is a new Razor Crest too.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The last one just obliterated.
Right. And even then, this one looks sleeker and cleaner. And I'm wondering what happens to his N1 Starfighter.
Yeah, that's sure also my mind too.
He told Pally Moto, I think that's her name, Pally, that like, yo, and she was like, what are you talking about? You have a fucking Corvette, a Mustang, a space Corvette Mustang. What do you want to, the RV for? He's like, I just want that. I think, and I'm assuming it makes sense for people who are like, oh, they want to go back to the first few seasons. Like, no, it makes sense that like if he's gonna be, and they've alluded to in season 3, if I'm gonna be hunting down warlords, and go for it. If you're gonna be hunting down warlords and picking up bounties, with an N1 Starfighter, it's not gonna work. Like you need something like this to like hold, contain, and also live out. This is a slick RV, if you will.
This is also one of the few ships that exist off the grid from the both the Empire and I guess the Rebellion and everybody too. So
pre-Empire,
it would make sense that he would pre-Empire. So he would want to have that because he's familiar with it. So you go with
yeah.
what works if he can. It took him a while to get there, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like even it's not shown here yet, but like even in the design wise of it floating, like there's a little yellow, like there's a little respect for the N1 ship that he was going around with.
Yes,
Harrison Gibson's Cad Bane, Embo give a bounty hunter a cool hat, and I'm sold. I agree. Fresh Razor Crest, maybe gifted by Sigourney's character to help the New Republic. I wouldn't put him past them. I wouldn't put it past her.
Yeah.
And then Lucasfilm logo. We get to see. I doubt this is Coruscant.
No,
That's another place that looks similar to it, but yeah.
It's been mentioned before.
This is probably going to be somewhere we've not heard of, I imagine.
Yeah.
Someone has mentioned it that they've read something that it was called, and I have no idea. But it's just another city, a new city that we're getting. So
it'd be kind of dope, but I don't know how close in universe they want to keep it. But what if it's that city that's now being introduced in Maul Shadow Lord? Where it's very the light ups and all that stuff. I wouldn't put it past them, or hell, even the city that Cad Bane comes from, where you see him being chased down in the streets and whatnot. I wouldn't put it past them, but like that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. First time I saw this, I was like, yo, it's the dude from Solo. It's that species, if you will.
Yes, Ardanian
species.
Yeah.
And then, dude, we hear this, dude.
Information.
Whoa. For this price, I'll tell you whatever you want.
I'm looking for a hut.
Close for the night. Thank you.
Do y'all know who that is?
Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese,
yeah.
It's fucking
the man who said he'd never be in popcorn films or do anything with popcorn.
Again, which is ironic. I was like, part of me wanted to be smug in my post. I'm like, this is definitely cinema. Am I right? And then I was even gonna tag Criterion. I'm like, right, Criterion Collection. And first of all, and again, I think I also want to give credit because I'm assuming he did, because John asked, but I'm also assuming that like probably his daughter or his granddaughter who's helping him with the TikTok and the letterbox thing is like, Martin, come on, like you're a GOAT. Everybody, even the nerds, respect you. Like play ball. Like come hang out with us. We're not gonna suit you up. You're not gonna be in the mocap suit. I hope not, because I'm not poor Martin Scorsese. I don't want him getting injured in the
right. Yeah,
they gave him a small but they gave him a small but pivotal role in this movie.
Like again, like even Star Wars' own account was like absolute cinema, right? It's like Martin Scorsese is joining Star Wars. I'm like that. This is cool. This is where like you can do this for the stuff, and like part of me does wish Del Toro at one point voices.
I saw that. I was like, is my feed messed up, or am I seeing this right?
I was like, that is fucking cool. Again, I don't agree with his takes in the past, but like that is fucking cool. Cool to see someone of his camera and be like, sure, I'll go for it. They probably shot for it like a day. It was like, all right, I'll record some lines and whatnot.
Yeah,
so that was cool.
And cool, that was it.
And you could tell that like John had fun with his character from Solo of like, bring the species back. Let's have him on more and do some more stuff.
Well, it's his character. He voiced I forgot the name of the character of the Ardanian
Ringo or something like that.
Solo, yeah. That's it. But anyway.
I think the next thing we got is
actually before you move on there, just keep that door open for a second. Just going into the production design element of like, the inside of this place. It's Star Wars. It's the it's Art Brew's little room with little weird taps and things like that. It looks great. Production design looks so cool.
Yeah, I especially even seeing how the designs of the big bots on the side. I think one of them like almost like a patch, if you will, look. Like I love this, and I'm pretty like I'm like hopeful. Please tell me you built this door. Even if it's for just a day, just build that door to make it look, because he said at the that New York event, hey Columbia Rican, that like, okay, if we're gonna do a movie of this, we gotta level up. And he said like bigger aspect ratio and like build bigger sets to shoot everything and cover it, and not feel what a lot of people are feeling like, oh, it's just a TV show or TV movie, if you will. And then we're introduced again to the twin huts. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm seeing Super Battle Droid guards.
Yes.
Right next to them.
Yes, you are correct.
Yep.
Now, are the twins like conjoined? Are they separate?
I think no. I'm pretty sure they're separate. They just haven't. They're twins, so I guess the idea that
They're very close. Yeah,
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. I think we saw it in Book of Boba Fett. We saw the tails and we saw the separation of the two colors.
That's true. Yeah, because they were. I think they were on separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But what a cool throne room for these twins.
I mean, look at that shot, man. Like,
yeah.
Well, even more so, like great throne room, but also the fact that they included these characters from Book of Boba Fett is a complete, like, all those chuds who were like, "Oh, Book of Boba Fett sucks."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it still matters. Sorry about it.
I have listen. I have my thoughts on Book of Boba Fett, but I was like, when they introduced the twin hats, I'm like, okay, I'm in. This is gangster. Right? This is as gangster Star Wars as it gets.
Oh, totally.
And I mean, now they coined it the Hutt Cartel. It doesn't get more gangster than that.
Right?
No.
Harrison James says that are they the same species as Grease from the Jedi games, or just other multi-armed games? I don't know. I'm not
much
familiar with those angle and that, but again, I wouldn't put it past them. If they've done that in the shows where they put in like deep cut stuff, like dude, they brought back E-wings in Ahsoka. It's like, why would they not look past and look like, oh, you know what? We need some droids, we need some guards and whatnot. What else do we have in the EU realm? Join cat dog style, that would be cursed. Hello.
Oh Lord.
We're gonna see Embo in live action. Damn, the movie's gonna be badass. Yes, Harrison James. I agree. Like, it has the biggest potential of just like being a kick-ass fun ride adventure story that they had the luxury of putting it out on the big screen. And we've always said, like, hey man, if you want to show the episodes of the shows on the big screen, I'll buy tickets. I'll happily go watch them in the big screen instead of my TV.
Oh yeah,
100%.
That's shows here, I think.
Yep.
And then we see more. Yes.
All right. This might be Coruscant. This feels like Palpatine's office in Revenge of the Sith.
Prequels.
But a different building that is that. So that's why I say this feels like an undercover group on Coruscant of Imperial remnants, officers and stuff like that, obviously. Again, I only say that because the building represents what we've seen the buildings as in Coruscant, even though this is a wiped out building. And
not only is it a wiped out building, but they're also these are snow troopers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So
maybe not.
And also look outside the windows. They're
snow
mountains. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Nope. They're on a different. Okay. You're right. Nope. They don't.
My guess it's in that sequence with the
good point.
Yeah. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like the throne room in Coruscant and Revenge of the Sith looks similar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just Imperial.
Yeah, you're right. Architecture.
I was going to say, I looked at the background and I was like, Hoth.
Yeah, no. My brain didn't even catch the background. I'm just looking at the interior. And the other cool thing is it looks unfinished. Like all the roofing is all just like unpainted and everything like that. So you can see that this place has really been through the damage. You're right. It is cold.
It reminds me of the first arc in Andor season 2, where like they're in that like the Krennic and all those Imperials are in that very like Switzerland-esque Nazi occupied place. And then
according to Columba Rican, Hoth has been confirmed as one of the planets in this movie.
What?
Really?
We'll go back to the first trailer. Okay. There's a piece of footage of the Mandalorian taken out and AT-AT in a snowfield.
Yeah.
So
Plus,
I never assumed it was Hoth as much because there are plenty of snow planets out there. But interesting if they say if it's being confirmed as Hoth, that is interesting.
Okay.
Was it not a snow-esque planet that was shown? And granted, this is probably like not stuff that's attached to the movie, but was it not a snow-esque planet that was shown in that spot we got for the Super Bowl? Or
yes,
was it different?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn! Imagine they actually do bring back the Tauntauns,
dude.
That'd be
think about it. Think about it.
Anyway.
At the beginning of Empire, the Empire takes out the rebel and shoos the rebels out of that base. So what if there's still Imperial remnants still in Hoth? That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. They just never got the command to leave.
Exactly.
There you go.
Heck,
they don't even know the Empire fell.
Big theory.
I'm kidding.
there's this like I think I'm assuming it's a lady at the very like right end of that table.
Yeah.
From just this angle of the shadow, it reminds me of one of those senators from Ahsoka, who was like in the meeting with Mon Mothma, Chancellor Mon Mothma, and Hera, and she was like saying like, "You worry too much. Imperial remnants, that's just all BS. Everybody's now pledge allegiance to the Republic." It reminds it from afar. I would think, yo, is that the senator from Ahsoka that like was assuring
Possibly.
Mon Mothma and Hera like, no, don't worry about that. Imperial remnants, they're just rumors and hope's sake for anybody who still wants a war and whatnot.
Again, it might be just people digging for greater things, but
yeah,
who knows?
People do
Here
love to do
93
that.
seeing the salute. How
Yeah.
you doing? Facts, Phil. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
And then we see, I think this guy, I'm pretty sure this guy was in the Shadow Council in season 3. I could be wrong.
I need to rewatch. I mean, there was a lot of people that were. I mean, obviously, Palion from the Thrawn novels, Captain Palion.
Captain Pelion. Yeah.
Was there, which he was the only one I recognized because I understood that character. So everybody else, yeah, I assume that there's going to be these little groups throughout the galaxy that are just broken through. Yeah.
Him and Commandant Hux were the ones that I was like, I'm like, yo, is that Hux's
Hux
uncle or grandfather? Yeah.
Father, yeah.
See, that's what I'm really wondering with this movie too. Is like, are we gonna see like see/hear a surname of a character or a like certain thing that attaches to a character that's outside, and is it gonna make us think, oh wait, are they connected to this other person that we know? Because the shows have had a habit of doing that to varying degrees, and that's not a knock to them at all. If anything, I think it further connects the world together.
Yeah. I do like that. People say it's fan service, and I honestly don't think so. It's like, you've got these elements of people being in places that are interconnecting. Anybody who's in the rebellion is going to probably heard of Princess Leia or, Leia Organa. So the fact that a name doesn't get name dropped or something like that, it's not there for fan service as far as I'm concerned. It's like it makes the world feel lived in a little more.
Also, can we stop with the negative connotation that fan service is a bad thing, please?
Yeah,
and
I
again,
agree.
It's all about balance. It's all about balance and how you use it. I think my favorite coin use of like when you decorate a story with those type of elements. Reminds me of the villain from Outlaws, have not Simpson. The guy from Outlaws does die. Everybody's wrong. So yeah, I could see that. Columbia Rican.
Okay.
My favorite coin, similar coin of that is instead of eye candy, it's eye protein. If you're gonna have a cameo or a reference, make it something that is part of the story and would make sense to be brought up, and not just there because it's always, even now when people when you say "May the Force be with you" or something like that nowadays, because we don't live in the late 70s, early 80s when this first introduced. A lot of stuff now feels too derivative, and like when it's used properly, it feels earned. The always example I go to is Andor at the end where Bell Organa says, "May the Force be with you, Captain." It's like, all right, we haven't heard that saying at all in that show, and when he said it, and specifically their dynamics, it meant something. And so I feel that way with Easter eggs and cameos. I mean, again, I think Zeb is here for a particular reason, not just because you like Zeb and Rebels and this, and we're Dave and John want to promote the character so he's well known, but
there are ways to do that. Yeah, there are definitely ways to do it wrong, but when you do it wrong, I think at that point it's no longer fan service.
Yeah. Great simple part of the world building. It does look like a pretty dope coat. I will definitely rock that coat.
I'm sure it'll be in stores and merchandising in 6 months' time. It'll be everywhere.
And we see
along
these
with this credit piece.
We see these like Sabacc looking cards of Colonel Ward giving.
Wait. Oh wait, that card, the symbol on the top, the red symbol on the top of that. Have we seen that symbol before? Or was that just my imagination?
I don't
feel like the one that looks like
the red shape,
like a blast thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if that's familiar or not. I feel like I should know that symbol or have seen that symbol in the Star Wars universe somewhere. Anyway, I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm digging too deep now.
We get the salute from Grogu at the bottom. Then I'm assuming they're in the Delphi base.
Yep. And a reminder
then,
that he's got the little armor.
yeah, that the armor gave him. Yeah, dude,
Man,
that flamethrower, dude. What I would give to be a fly when they shot this sequence, just even this weekend, I'm like, man, what was that like?
I mean, it's just the blocking and framing that Favreau is just infamous for. This is straight up out of like that one scene with Iron Man where Iron Man 2 rather, where Black Widow just bursts the door, starts whooping ass.
Yeah.
This is straight, same kind of framing.
I mean,
Nice cinematic framing.
Well, even the opening of Iron Man 2, whenever he lands on that dance floor, it's centered on him, broken off that way, same frame.
Yeah. And of course, going back to that, just going back to that frame again, same architecture as what we saw before. So we know that, and this all definitely leads together from what we've seen before. He ends up on the, the snow planet, and he ends up by, fighting these guys. And my question is, where does this take place in the film? Is this whole sequence with the Hoth stuff,
the opening one?
I feel like this might be the opening sequence where he's like, he's being given a task, a mission, go off and stop the remnant stormtroopers and Imperials, and is my guess anyway.
Yeah.
Do you think this could be a scene reminiscent to Vader's scene at the end of Rogue One, just the way that it's framed? Because he's in the center, there's people aiming their weapons at him. Could this be a scene reminiscent of that, do you think, or no?
I wouldn't put it past him. But then again, I also know they want to like find new ground and not just go back to the same well over and over again. But like again, center frame, hollow, like hall, if you will, like put it back.
It's the Mandalorian. It's the Mando's entrance. I mean, think about it. When he entered into the meat factory thing, and just the bar, when he went into the meat factory, and goes through the slats and all in season 2 and everything. Just was that Book of Boba Fett?
Book of Boba
Fett.
Book of
Boba Fett was
Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, but Mando gets these entrances, these grand entrances of walking through a door and just letting loose. I think that's great.
Yeah. Okay, you know what's great is seeing the Delphi base. You seeing all these ships. I spot Y wings. I spot a U wing. I'm assuming this is the same U wing that probably
X-wings. Yes.
Yeah.
It could be Zeb's viewing too. Who knows?
Dude, yeah.
Well, could be, yeah.
And the teaser there's a U-wing of Mando and Grogu flying up too, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was part of it. Yeah.
Because the very next shot I think is Zeb.
Yeah. So I this is my favorite like line of dialogue from the trailer.
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another war.
Preventing another war.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And again, I think that line in my books does a lot of work for those who haven't seen the show. And like, okay, why are we telling stories of more Star Wars stories post Return of the Jedi? Why is it worth revisiting this side of the galaxy? And it's like it's that. Yeah. It's the notion that like, okay, we let an empire slip through our fingers and like shoot our knees and take over for over 2 decades. We're not doing that again. Yeah. And the notion of like, all right, yes, some of these people probably killed close friends of mine, family, but, and I said in my video, like, that line does a lot for Sigourney's character of just like, I've been through a war. I am not letting another one. I'm not going to live through another one and let another generation go through what I did, because I'm assuming that a lot of her youth and a lot of her young adult life, it's just her fighting constantly. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of documentaries, a lot of movies where like that's one goal for a lot of vets. It's just like, I already lived through this. Don't let nobody else live through what I did. And I adore that line. Oh man. I always say that whenever I get a chance to talk about the Mandalorian and Grogu, Sigourney fucking Weaver is in Star Wars. That is still mind-bending to me. Yeah.
I bet you anything we're going to get an Aliens reference.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like, without a doubt. Like, there's no way that she's in this movie and they do not make some kind of nod, verbal or visual reference to her time in the Alien franchise.
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's something along the lines of, say she's conversing with someone and she goes, "I made a decision and it was a bad move. It was a bad call." I wouldn't be surprised if they reference that Alien 3 scene.
God,
I'd be fine if they didn't, and if they do, they do. It's kind of thing. It's like we all know who she is and where she's been from and what she's done before, and
just give her a
it is
flamethrower.
Star Wars. So who knows? Who knows?
I mean, I would not put it past them. And this is honestly the first comparison that I thought of in the moment. And this might be a bit of a tenuous type, but just hear it out. For anybody who watches those CW shows, they had Tom Felton on one of them, who previously played in Harry Potter. And during his time when he was on the Flash show, they were dealing with an object called the Philosopher's Stone, and so that sort of reference there. Like,
but then,
like that, I would not put it past them.
Possible. We'll see.
I think
also
just go ahead.
Real quick, Ronan, do you think that she is in the role that she's in? Had Carl Weathers not died, do you think this would have been Carl Weathers sitting across the table from Mando right now?
It's a good thing to ask.
I don't think so. Just because he was very much he was the guy who probably he did fight at one point, but he was the rich guy now settling in as mayor. And this is literally someone who's said to be okay, a couple of us in the New Republic do feel there's a threat out there, and she's the one that's gonna be in charge of taking care of that. I don't think she would have taken Carl's spot, but I think, and again, I'm not just saying that it's a great I
should clarify what I mean. Let me clarify what I mean. I'm not saying that I think they needed to come up with a different character because initially this was meant to be Carl Weathers' character. I guess what I'm really getting at is did Carl Weathers' death? I would actually imagine, yes, his death probably impacted any chance of that character coming up in this movie because he was his confidant through the guild.
Yeah.
And Sigourney Weaver's character is a rebel general.
Yes.
Something like that. She's
a Colonel,
Colonel, thank you, Colonel. I don't know why I said fucking general. Anyway, when it comes to these characters, I'm just wondering, was there a version of this movie that had Carl Weathers alongside it too?
I would have said, would it have been Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia?
I would have even go ahead.
The de-aging element is I'm just saying the de-aging element on anything right now in Star Wars is a touchy subject for a lot of people. So the reality is obviously with Carrie's passing, we don't know the details, but the reality is that it's a touchy subject using de-aging, especially that of a person who has passed. But I feel like this role was meant to be Princess Leia's role in some form or fashion, and they knew that they didn't want to touch on that, so let's create a similar character. We got that from what's her name, Hondo from
Hondo Naka
no, the purple hair, what's her name, from The Last Jedi,
Admiral Holdo.
Holdo. So we've got strong female generals and captains and all that, and that has been established. So I'm actually quite fine that we just get another general who's like that. Leia can't be in every place, and that would have made it. But at the same time, I feel like it's fitted to a Leia type character more than a Grief Karga type character. Who
I saw people bringing this up,
and
I don't necessarily agree with this because I saw a lot of people bringing this up to the point of Carl Weathers' character, acting as his confidant in the series. With Carl Weathers passing in real life, will his character get addressed in this film at all, or will they?
Good question.
Or will his character have an in-universe passing because the actor isn't here? And I said, I don't necessarily know, and not to say this in a bad way, you might not even need the character related to whatever story they're telling, but if they do, they do. If they don't, then I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I'm not
It-
really one way or the other about it.
If we spend time in Navarro, then I would have said, yeah, that would make sense because he is a big part of Navarro's history, at least as far as we've extended on. When I was thinking about Colonel Ward, Sigourney's character, in another world, if she was not the way she behaves, and again, it's her choice to behave this way, I would even consider that maybe Cara Dune would have been in this position and be like,
Someone mentioned
like,
that in the show,
be like,
too.
Yeah, makes sense.
be like, Din, we go a long way back.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to fight that much anymore,
right.
but like, I need your help, and be
Yeah.
like, and he would have been like, give me a name, give me a place, I'll be there. Like, you helped me in the past, I got your back. But having said that, this is a great phrase that I've heard called obstacles are opportunities. And the notion that like, okay, maybe we can't have Cara Dune anymore, although we have addressed her characters now back in fighting. We can't have Carrie Fisher here with us. Although we've addressed her character is still helping out allies of ours. And I do think if they ever revisit Princess Leia in live action, before you even consider doing DH or fake whatever AI visual on the face of an actress, bring back Billy Lord. Just tell Billy Lord like, hey, we're considering doing Leia in live action. We feel it would only be appropriate and honorable that like you carry your mother's like torch, and that like you now play her, and the fact that she did play her in Rise of Skywalker, and they just put her mom's face all over it. But like you look at her, and like I see the resemblance. Between her and Carrie Fisher, and she just did like not too long ago a shoot with like some like a clothing line, and she dressed up like in her mom's costume and went and shot somewhere in Northern California. I'm like, so that you could do Leia in this time period with Billy Lord, but like I said, obstacles, opportunities. If there was even an obstacle.
Was she the body of Leia in Rogue One, or
no? That was another actress. No. She was the body of Leia in the flashback vision of Rise of Skywalker, where she's training with Luke.
Training with the lightsaber.
That was Billy Lord. Yeah.
Okay.
That being
she was there in the flashbacks. I just couldn't remember who the Rogue One actress was.
Yeah.
That set aside the original question about, could this be played by, Simone in universe? I mean, I'm also fine with just being a brand new character too, because the reality is that this world requires new, fresh blood to come into it without having to repeat characters, without having to go in and again, we talk about this. There's definitely a fine line between how much you overuse a character in popping up all over the place, and how much somebody else can take that position and make reference that Leia is out there or so and so is out there, and whatever it may be. People are saying that with Carson Teva. How much of Carson Teva is constantly running into Mando, and I kind of put it out there as like, I get that point, but sometimes you just keep running into the same person over and over again, and I'm fine with Carson Teva, for example, popping up all over the place in Star Wars right now.
I expressed the comparison that I'm like, if they want to do a Jim Gordon Batman dynamic with Carson Teva and Mando, run with that, because it goes. And like, again, he was the one who was telling him, hey, I'm not telling you to fight. I'm just telling you that like an old friend of yours is his hometown is being run by pirates, and I feel like you should know. And that notion at the end of like, hey man, we fought the war. We know you're not a bad guy. You're not our enemy, but we're not sure if you're our ally. And him coming to a truth like, hey man, I have this ward. He's gonna be following me in missions. You need help cleaning up the galaxy. I'm not with the Empire, so hire me. Make me make a living. I'm good at what I do. I'm a hunter. Let's work together. And the fact that there's this mutual respect, that's why I never mind seeing more Carson Teva. Hell, and like we brought up earlier, like the notion that you can introduce a new character and it's freaking Sigourney Weaver and she's game to be part of this is like, I said it when it was announced and when we got the first teaser of her and the footage I saw it at Celebration. I'm like, I want a paperback about her character. I want to know when she joined. I want to see if she ever bump into Hera's or Leia or Mon Mothma or Clea or or any of the women
Zebrellis.
in Andor. Like, I want to see her. What's her? What this character's life was like before we meet her there. I want a comic book series, and I've said the same thing with Carson Teva. I remember when he showed up with a jacket and he had all these patches. I'm like, where is that all from? I want to learn more of that character. And like, again, we don't need to spend too much time with her and talk about her past and what she was through. That's what I love. What cross platform storytelling can do, and that's what you can do with a book. You want to sell a Star Wars book? Talk about Sigourney Weaver's character and have her perform the audio version, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, that would make some money on audiobook or Kindle, however you want to distribute that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always said that you could be on the street and you could see alien number 3 in the background or droid number 10 in the in the background, and they all have a story in the Star Wars universe. We don't get to learn it, but I want to know it.
Everyone has a story.
Exactly. And that's what the Star Wars universe makes me feel when I watch.
We see Grogu's story continuing where we see him like now using his force. Jon did say that he leveled up with hanging out with Luke Skywalker. We see here now Hutta base, I'm assuming, where we see all these ships flying out.
It's not just that, but those are the commando droids that we see in the Clone Wars as well.
The Funko Pops, right?
Yeah. Well, we see them in Revenge of the Sith as well, and they're the and Ahsoka as well. Actually, I think
I believe so. We're going to go hunt it down. Yeah.
Now, those ships look familiar too. It's very hard to tell. They're in blur motion, but there is a ship that was used in the Clone Wars that was one of the Hutt ships. That it might be as well, because I said in my reference of when I reacted to this was like that looks like a skiff of some sort. So I feel like this is definitely a Nahata element, especially with all the vines and all the the swamp lands and stuff around there. I feel like we're going to spend a great deal of time on Nahata, and I'm very excited for that.
That'd be fucking bonkers, dude.
Yeah.
Clemerican said a while back, Ripley was sent from the New Republic to investigate to see if Mando is a secret Yaocha and Grogu was a face hugger. That's adorable. Cannot wait to see Sigourney. I've seen that one. Damn, I bet you that was one of the limited edition. She was wasted in Marvel, so come on, Star Wars. I need you to let her cook. I agree. I was not a fan of how they utilized her presence in Defenders. Yeah.
There were a lot of things wasted with that side of Marvel.
You are so right. I'm sure they would do her justice in Star Wars universe. Cara Dune could have played a similar role too if she was still about. They can always add the piece of Princess Leia planning and sending Sigourney to help Mando and Grogu in one of the Tales episodes. That would be a good way to honor the character in the story.
Yeah, and further connect the world by incorporating some of the Tales stuff.
Yeah,
if she wasn't already Leia and Clea and Andor, the actress looks so much like Carrie. We used actors being reused in different characters and roles. Perfect example, Sam Witwer. I agree. True, but I'd say too soon with how fresh Andor is still in the grand scheme of things. I'll take Carson in every project. True, but who knows? If she plays her well, wouldn't matter. She's an awesome actress. Same here. Hello, gents. How you doing, Tony Robinson?
Tony.
Hey, Tony. Here, 93. What's up, chat?
They brought up Andor still having a grand impact. That just makes me so happy to see that show recognized for everything it did.
Yeah.
And we see here, dude. Okay, so I heard this rumor, and again, this is one of those like it's the Cad Bane moment. I'm like, holy shit, with the dog.
I had somebody
before you
ask
move
me
on.
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
I had someone ask me if this was Cad Bane.
I was like, no, but you're in the same ballpark.
Yeah, close, but no.
First, you got to ask yourself: look at this location. Well, apart from the fact it's a rainstorm. Yeah, it feels like it's Din's house. But yeah. So ultimately, was we see that at the end of Mandalorian Grogu? Sorry, at the end of Mando season 3. So this is telling a story right here. This is like we know Embo's a bounty hunter, and he's going after another bounty hunter. Why? Who sent Embo to Mando? It seems because he's also the next scene with his helmet off. It means Embo won. Embo looks like he won.
I mean, seeing the droid take off his helmet.
Yeah,
dude,
it's so cool.
He's even got the yellow like eyes on him, and just oh, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I love the dialogue. I think here, hold on.
The Hutt's dialogue, yeah.
You will suffer. And then it will be his turn.
Oh, come on,
So-
y'all. Don't mess. Don't,
So
don't fuck
good.
around with a Latino.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't
All
do
right.
that. Don't fuck around with a Latino.
I'm wondering if the scene sets up what's going on, that the twins go after Mando and send Embo after him. Feels like the vibe to me in this situation as a possible.
Again, the connection to Book of Boba Fett, which I don't mind, is like, oh, you helped Boba Fett
Oh yeah,
take
of course.
our cousin's palace. Fuck
Yeah.
you, we want blood. Like,
Oh yes,
I wouldn't put it
Oh, yeah,
past
they-
them. And
they were there
Yeah.
when that happened. Yeah, they were.
They were.
I'll say this.
Yeah,
Yep.
ties
This
it
is
in.
highlighting Pedro, which I'm always here for highlighting Pedro, but also
Mhm.
I do feel for anybody who hasn't seen the show. It's like you had years to watch the show.
Yeah.
It is a moment when eventually Din removes his helmet.
Yeah.
And why he removes his helmet.
Yeah.
Here it's
It's
and,
forced
and
off.
again someone took his helmet off. So like what does that do to his code? Is he back to
Yeah.
square one? Does he not believe that same
Yeah.
way anymore? Like it's
I
a
don't think
fascinating
so.
dynamic.
I think this is definitely more along the line because think about the way it's worded from the forger, Emily Sparrow's character, right? Like what does she say? Have you ever willfully removed your something like that? Like, have you
Right.
been the one to remove your helmet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's never a matter of
you were captured
you-
and.
bingo. So this,
Mhm.
in a way, I don't think would count.
Count.
So,
okay.
look at his face. He's
Yeah.
miffed. You know, he's like,
yeah,
he's like, you done fucked up. Now you're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the one thing you do not do to a Mandalorian who honors that code, you do not
Mhm.
remove their helmet because you are in
Yeah.
for an ass beating after that.
Oh, you get the horns.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Mhm.
So whoever did this, they are going to pay. But does this infringe on his code? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I like that point of view.
And Calamarican says Embo literally took on Anakin well, so did Cad Bane in the Clone Wars. These bounty hunters literally took on Jedis and stood on their own against them. Says a lot of who they are. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good callback
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, Mando
Um,
just gets his ass whipped for the first time. It's really that simple. It's
I love the suit up moment between
Uh-huh.
Grogu.
Yep.
And then we see. Hold on. Am I? So here's the thing. I forgot to bring it up, but like this sequence, I see. I don't know what type of ship is that on the
Oh.
other side. But like
I think I know.
you
That's
know.
one of the Fiend.
Okay.
It's one of the Fiend fighters. Because Micro Galaxy Squadron just dropped some images, and well, they didn't
That's
technically
right.
drop it. And it looked like one of the
So-
Fiend fighters from Ahsoka.
Again, theorizing because of what we know thus far. In Colonel Ward's Sigourney Weaver's character's action figure, she's in a jumpsuit, X-Wing jumpsuit. At Celebration, there's photos out there of her, a photo of her in a jumpsuit.
Mhm.
And there's a Lego set out there. I'm assuming there's going to be a raid of X-Wings eventually helping out. And you're going to see Carson, you're going to see Zeb, and I think she's going to suit up and jump on an X-Wing. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if there's a big battle in Nal Hutta where you see all these ships flying out, and it's like, okay, it's Mando and his Razor Crest and the X-Wings duking it out with everybody occupying Nal Hutta.
Well,
And
it's interesting.
You see the
We've
Anzilians?
got two.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we've got two stories going on here. We've got the New Republic and the Empire story, and then we've got Din Djarin and the Hutts story going on. There's two. It's like we're getting emergence of two massive stories. The question is, where will one intersect into the other, and will that happen? Is a big question too, and how it intersects, if it does.
We see the Anzelians here riding with Grogu. Seeing that ship, I think there's a Lego set out there for them, which
Yes,
is adorable.
I did see the Lego set.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's
This
pretty
is
clear
quite
it's pretty clear what they're doing there, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
This is
Merchandising.
Besides merchandising, dude. This is literally giving me like old wise Yoda
Yeah.
vibes with that shot and him and the cane. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, what is?
It's the cane
what
that
is-
really does it for me, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Now,
Yeah.
if they would have included a close up of him doing this number, yeah, that would have been like completely.
Yeah. I didn't even catch the cane in that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna go away and be like, is that Yoda's cane? But like, again, I don't know. About
I mean, they're on a swamp planet. If they go to Dagobah, I mean, to be fair, it doesn't have a bunch of mist around it, so I don't think it's Dagobah. But a lot can happen in 5 years. You know.
True.
Yeah.
Grogu's gonna pilot the Anzellan ship at some point, calling it. All right, I can see that. And then the next one is I think they're going down the sewers of Nahata.
Okay, let's look at the dialogue on this as well, because the dialogue's kind of a key thing. And, as he's saying, the kids get to live for centuries well beyond my years.
Yeah.
And that still sets up, in my opinion, I'd love to see 500 years later from now at some story point or some movie or whatever, pick up on Yoda, Grogu in his prime, and see how that Mandalorian / Force user side, because he's not going to really call himself a Jedi, I don't think. He's going to be that Force user Mandalorian. How
In
that
between,
pertains in his, in himself, his species, and everything like that. Yeah,
that is a good line. I think of like, there's a reason why he's on this adventure. It's a kid, but I'm teaching him how he's supposed to defend himself and live in this galaxy when I'm not around.
Yeah.
The kid will live centuries beyond me.
Yeah.
I won't always be around to protect him.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then we have Rhoda.
Dude.
Out of the hut.
Out of the hut.
With the fucking Praetorian, not Praetorians, the Gamorrean guards, like sliders, if you will. Like,
Yeah.
Like, look at this. Like, dude.
Voiced by Jeremy Allen White, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cousin.
And
Yeah.
that's another actor where you're like, holy shit, he's in a Star Wars project.
Yeah. Playing the buff hut.
I remember when that came out, I was just like, okay, I get this. If he doesn't want to be too tied into this stuff, but wants to mess around, and he said he is a fan.
Yeah,
play ball. I say, let it be.
I mean, you can really never say never with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I
also, the one thing it does, and this goes into the Clone Wars it's Clone Wars, most of the live action stuff more than anything, is that I'm fine with aliens having subtitles. I wish the Hutts again, I know they can form and articulate an English, a speaking voice as such, but I'd be fine also if like our key characters just had subtitles, Chewbacca or Jabba the Hutt or anything like that. And I feel like that has been taken out of Star Wars more recently in the Disney era, so that I don't know for what reason. But there's plenty of aliens that we've seen that could have just simply been subtitle aliens and still get the point across.
I agree with you. Like,
and I think wish they would do a bit more.
This creature right here that we see right now, Tom.
Are you scared?
Yeah,
you should be.
See,
I wish that was like another alien dialogue
accent. Yeah, I agree.
You still see the subtitle, and you see Grogu acknowledging, I am scared.
Yeah,
like I don't know where he's at right now, but like I'm like, I wish
this creature that creature looks so fucking cool though. At the same time,
yeah,
I like this creature. I want to know his story.
And we get a peek at what I think is a creature that we've seen in the Clone Wars, right, Brent?
I believe so. Yeah, on Nahata of all places.
Yeah. I'm like, holy shit.
Obi-Wan goes up against it, if I remember rightly, or one of them.
And I'm assuming this is the same location where oh my gosh, that other creature from the teaser showed up. That was again a background creature in Jabba's palace. I'm forgetting the name of the character, but it was
a Amanaman. The Amanaman.
Yes, Amanaman. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is the same location. It's just like, this is fucking cool. And
they sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just saying they live in. I'm just trying to remember. There was an episode of the Clone Wars that never got made. It became the animatic episode, and it was one of the future ones of season 6, I think it was. and I saw the animatic of it where it deals with their race. So yes, they could definitely live in a swampland. I wouldn't be surprised if they were just simply guards around the huts, and additional extra what's it called, security kind of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't
As-
put it
as a
past
race.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even they'd be prisoners down there. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, that's where we throw all the prisoners. Let them rot in there.
Yeah.
I love also this like, again, acknowledgement of this, like, what do we do?
Do we run? Or do we fight?
Oh, and dude,
Uh-huh.
again, we're blasting through a garrison of
We
stormtroopers.
fight.
And then, dude,
Which is not the
I
ice
like
planet.
this kid.
yes,
Fight.
I like this kid.
dude,
Damn it. Ah.
Yeah, there it
Like
is.
this kid.
Steve Bloom.
Yeah.
You talk about voice actors that have a plethora of range. It's this man right here.
Oh, absolutely. He's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wonder who's the actor
Mocap.
standing in for Zeb doing the mocap.
He wasn't, yeah, but
on
Steve
set.
Bloom was not there when we saw him. He said in interviews that he wasn't actually there. They just let him voice over afterwards.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him in on this one,
Yeah.
but that's just a wild guess. Because again, he knows the character well enough. He has the expression in his face, and there is a change of visual of what he looks like here compared to when we last saw him on the Delphi base. They've cleaned up the mocap, so it feels like that we're getting more of Steve Bloom here.
More details.
Yeah, more details than we got before, which is cool.
And
How
I think
funny
that
would it
one.
be if they just did Doug Jones as the mocap.
It could
That's
be.
fucking everything.
Yeah,
He does
fair
damn
enough.
everything.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I think also with Zeb in the Delphi base, they had to deal with lighting because it was the daylight and this is indoor stuff, I think, or
Yeah.
who knows? They might have to deal with it because of the other footage.
It's still a cleaner, yeah. And like it just goes to the shows the 2 years of additional technology has improved from when we last saw, and it keeps improving all the time. So, yeah.
I have a question
Mhm.
for all my rebels, rebel heads here. We see Zeb here.
Mhm.
Where is Callus? Where is Agent Callus? Where's his man?
I don't know. I
Couldn't tell you.
couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. Would it be cool if he turns up? Sure. Does that kind of need to happen? Probably.
No. But that'd be sweet. I'd be like, yo.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
See a bunch of the folks down here saying that, like, I still think Quinlan, just like Calcus, is still alive during the Mandoverse. I could see that. Live action bow staff action. Obi and Quinlan Voss just chilling during it. Meet to Columbian Rican with the Path or something. Imagine seeing Luke, Ezra, Quinlan, and Calcus standing side by side fighting Thrawn stormtroopers.
Mhm.
Don't start letting my imagination run. That is a sweet spot of like a little platoon of Jedis out there and be like, all right, let's go to work.
Probably not in this story.
No. But again, this is cool seeing Zeb presence here, and man, I this has to be sold more for general audience, but I just get giddy. Just these moments. I'm like, I'm good.
yeah.
Take my money.
Yeah.
I'll happily pay for a ticket right now.
Yeah.
And insert Futurama meme here.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same.
I'm down. This is one of those
So we
vehicles,
see-
the hot vehicles crashing there too.
Yeah, we see Mando sliding through Nahauta, and I think that in somewhere in the location of the palace,
Yeah.
we see the ship
Yeah.
crashing,
Which is the same.
and
one it
then
took
okay,
off.
so this is kind of like very sweet.
Yeah.
I don't speak Arabic, the language of Star Wars here. Someone already translated saying that like it says Apollo Weathers or Apollo Carl, I think here,
Yeah.
and I thought that was very cute.
Yeah.
To Carl Weathers.
No way.
Yeah. Weather's Apollo. Weather's
awesome.
Apollo is what
Apollo
they said.
Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
That's
No, no.
awesome.
Yeah. Weather's Apollo. Yeah. So yeah, as a tribute. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume this is straight out of whatever the arena is that Mando's fighting these creatures, and they just get out into the street. Because
you
it
see
seems
them in
like
the back. Yeah.
But you see, everybody's lives are at threat. It's like it's up to Mando and Grogu to save the day. And this Rodian, thank you. Oh my god, mental block. Reminds me of 2 or 3 years ago. They had the baby Ewoks, the baby Rodian in the toy stores and Target. And it was only a matter of time before we got a baby Rodian in Star Wars like this. We see a child last time, but now it's a baby.
See, that is a gold mine for Hasbro. If they can just make a baby version out of everything.
Totally. Yeah. It's cute. Look at that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole thing of like, all right, how do we get out of this mess?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same routine again from the show. If you've seen it, you know it. If not, like this is routine. Dad has the jetpack. Right. The kid has the little baby back end. This is awesome, man.
Okay,
this feels like a cool chase from Coruscant.
Going from this, I think that Grogu is going to be a speed racer throughout his whole life. He's not going to be a good on ships, but he's going to be absolutely a speed racer for sure. Look at this kid go.
That's awesome. Get the title, and then we get the whole bit of like maybe we shouldn't eat before dinner. It's like no, I'll get my break. Oh,
yeah.
Forged for IMAX.
Yeah.
Oh man, 3 more months, man. 3 more months.
Yeah.
Man.
So far, from what I've seen online, most people have been pretty positive about this trailer this morning. At least from what I've seen. I don't connect with a lot of the negative side of the thing, so I haven't seen any of those posts. But I'm sure there's just an equally amount of negative posts out there. But it seems like everybody's pretty excited and pretty jazzed from what I could tell online. So am I.
Yeah.
Got that Nas added to this trailer.
I've seen a little bit of the same reaction on Threads. A lot of people really happy with what they saw, looking forward to it.
Yeah. And then I see a lot of people pretending as though they weren't complaining a week and a half ago during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so start wrapping things up. I really, to be quite frank, I really don't need to see anything more. I know we're gonna get another pilot trailer. It's gonna be blowing up. I might have to even do a reaction for that. But like generally between this, the teaser and this, it's all I need to see.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
The only thing I would like beforehand is, you know what? Give me, like I said earlier, give me a Colonel Ward novel or a comic book series, and I'll happily read it and cover it on the show before I go watch the movie. I'm doing my best to like be around LA late May to watch that, because I do want to watch this in the Grauman Chinese Theater. I really want to be there to watch this there, and hopefully by then we'll have a big roundtable discussion about how we feel. We'll have one before going in to watch the movie,
right?
And then we'll probably have one afterwards to see how we feel about the movie, and then what does this sign mean for future movies coming out of Star Wars, because it's the first one in 7 years.
Yeah,
and I think that's a big deal. A different lead up, very very drastic lead up than Force Awakens had. But this, I'm good. I want to do a breakdown, cover all the Easter eggs. We did that already, and the only thing I could do forward is just like promote the hell out of the trailer, let people know that there's a movie out. Hell, Lucasfilm, Disney, ILM, anybody watching this, if you want to like send us to LA for the premiere, well, I think we'll all happily go and we'll promote the hell out of this movie.
Oh yeah.
Again, I am hoping that it stands on its own. You don't need to see the show to like this story and like these characters in this film. But if you have, you get a cool pat on the back and be like, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
Have fun with it. Boys, do we have any final thoughts before we start closing out the stream of what we've seen, what we talked about, or anything else you want to bring up?
I'm excited to see who else pops up in this movie, because they were very deliberate in who they showed in this trailer of who is going to be here. Sigourney Weaver, Zeb, but I think Carson's probably going to show up. I think that's kind of a given. I think the actor's even already said he's in the movie.
Yeah.
I really want to see if anyone from, the original trilogy might pop up. Big or small role doesn't really matter to me. I mean, it would be nice to get a nod to Leia or Han or even Luke. I mean, Luke trained Grogu, so maybe I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if this is a preamble to, something bigger with Thrawn, because those warlords got to answer to somebody, and they didn't bring Thrawn back for nothing. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see who else is going to pop up. That's where my curiosity is now at. But as far as just general excitement, this trailer kind of moved it for me in the sense of like, now I'm really jazzed for it. And I hope that a lot of other people are feeling the same way after watching it.
I mean, they could do something even as minor as like what Rogue One did, where you saw, C-3PO and R2 for like 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they could very well do something like that.
It's R2. I'm like, hello, old friend. I'm like, what do you got? You got a message.
But again, at what purpose, I guess, is my question on that. Is, at what purpose is that become fan service, or is it important, to the main story? I think the for me, it's a matter of, I just hope this film does well enough to bring fans back to the seat and kids back to the seat and everything like that. It's been a passion of mine since I was, 7 years old when I saw Star Wars, and it's been there throughout my entire life, as much of anything else that is family to me, kind of thing. It is my childhood. So ultimately, it's been sad to see a certain negativity, and again, it's only a small bunch of people, but it's the loudest, unfortunately, that ends up by taking down some of these franchises. It's not just Star Wars, it's Marvel, it's this and that. But I'm enjoying this ride. It's not necessarily always the ride I wanted to see, but throughout the things that are kind of not in the higher bracket of what I'm looking for, we still get this up and down. I'm still looking for these high moments where I can come out of them and feel really jazzed that Star Wars is still around. And, I'm hoping this is the beginning of it. I mean, I'm equally looking forward to Starfighter next year.
Mm-hmm.
But my question here is, I feel like just, it's going to be a very different movie. So the question is, will this help enhance an audience back to the seats to help Starfighter even go even higher next year? Or will this stay like Solo, where the word of mouth or negativity doesn't give it the hype that it kind of maybe deserves? So I want to see people in seats. That's all I want to see, is people in seats again in a Star Wars movie.
I think this has a much better receptive chance than Solo did, because I mean, elephant in the room, you can cast anyone you want. Doesn't matter who. They're never going to live up to Harrison Ford. As much as I liked Alden Ehrenreich in the role, it's just a lot of people went into that movie with that preconceived notion, and you also had to take into consideration like people coming off The Last Jedi with their negative perception of that too.
Yeah, and only 6 months after it, back in the theaters.
Right. And we are getting, like Solo, this is releasing in May, so we're going to see how it does for it.
But unlike Solo, this has May to the end of June all to itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because May of one with Solo 18.
Yeah, and it was
that was
in
a
between
crowded year.
It was in between Deadpool and Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yep.
It was right after Infinity War. No, it was right after those two movies. It was right after Infinity War and Deadpool 2. And literally, it just didn't have a great spot, despite the fact that it was a memorial release date. It just didn't have that. Yeah. But I think this one has a much better chance. And also, a lot of people prior to this trailer were really complaining about the marketing in some respect. And I would just posit,
I agree
this is also not a sequel trilogy movie or something on, like, say, the scale of a Starfighter, where it's a little bit more grandiose in a certain respect. But even then, like, looking at this trailer, I'm just like, despite the fact that we're coming off of a Disney Plus character, this still does feel like cinematic Star Wars. And I think a lot of people were were worried about that, and you know, I feel like this trailer especially kind of puts that notion to rest.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I think if this movie doesn't do, you know, gangbusters, Disney's just going to be like, all right, just put them back on Disney Plus. Starfighter, on the other hand, is the one I think that Disney's like, all right, if this one shits the bed, we need
something's off.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
They do have the benefit of this one costing less, so it's not as difficult to earn its money back. So there's that.
And I also think that just the Mando and Grogu characters are just really popular with children.
Oh, absolutely. Which is what Star Wars is meant to be in the first place.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Or the child at heart, like us, because I consider myself a child at heart when it comes to Star Wars. I'm going to love it all, and I'm still going to be able to criticize what needs to be criticized, but in a constructive criticism kind of way. That is also important to me. You know, never forget that you can actually argue a point about something and be constructive and not just be like, it was terrible, it was shit, don't see it. That's not a criticism. That's a choice of comment. My you know, I can sit and criticize any of the Star Wars films at certain points, but I can equally come to the highest point and say, this is why it means so much in my life. Because of, you know, because of X, Y, and Z reasons, you know.
I mean, anybody who wants to act like, you know, they are too good for a certain piece of Star Wars media or that it's beneath them, those are really the kind of fans that you want to, I won't even call them fans, the kind of people that you want to avoid, just because they're not going to do anything to better your experience of the thing that you already enjoy. I mean, just like what you like, and the people who like to mouth off and try to come up with a bunch of reasons to not like it, just ignore them.
Yeah, I mean, that sentiment is often echoed by a lot of chuds who, you know, they swear and live by Andor. And I know Ronan's a huge fan of Andor, and I know Ronan's not one of those people, but my point is like, you know, you see a lot of these older fans who swear up and down that Disney has just defecated all over, you know, the Star Wars brand, right? But then they turn around and go, oh man, Andor's so good. Oh, Rogue One. And I'm like, you understand Disney gave you that, right? You are you fully cognitively aware of the fact that Disney, the thing you hate and love to complain about, gave you the thing that you love so very much.
Yes.
Yep.
It's just
under Captain Kennedy's watch.
Yes.
So this and Andor. So the door better swing both ways. Like if you're
They're complaining
about
because the internet told them to.
Which again, I have my issues with the sequel trilogy, but I easily be like, you know what? She did good by Mandalorian and Andor.
Oh yeah.
And broke barrier with corners of Star Wars. Music wise, character wise, and pushing it and letting people like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and Tony Gilroy just run with their stories and be like, go do your thing. And it shows the range. And like, it doesn't just have to be about Skywalkers. The Skywalkers are a big part of it, but it's not the universe, the galaxy is too rich to just be one soap opera.
Right.
It can be plenty.
It doesn't have to have the Skywalker name attached to it to be successful.
Oh, completely.
I agree with this notion. Listen, everybody has their own paths of walking. I have my groups. Again, with that sentiment, I remember my mother and everybody telling me like, who you hang out with says a lot about you. So this should tell you a lot about me and how I feel and how I approach something like Star Wars is very near and dear to me. I'm tired of everything heading all the way. I agree. But listen, y'all, this year we're eating good. I think who was it? I think it was Harrison James and Clint Merkin said between this, Maul, Ahsoka, Night Jedi spinoff, we're eating good this year.
Plus the 2 games coming this year.
Yeah.
And another Visions and the Visions is it Ninth Jedi series? Yeah.
Ninth Jedi is the spinoff.
Ninth Jedi series, yeah.
I mean, we got this and then like Fate, Pod Racer. We're good this year.
Thank you, Harrison James. Thank you. Appreciate that. Muchachos, that's it for this stream. You guys know the rules. You guys know how it works. Everybody, let's go around the corner, promote your channel, let people know where they can find you, and promote anything you got going on. We'll start with Phil.
You guys can follow me at Unfiltered on YouTube and Vero Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, as well as TikTok. You can look at my Star Wars Mandalorian and Grogu trailer reaction on my channel over there. And you can also catch me later today with, I'm assuming, Ronan and Jake later on Party Nation here in a couple hours. So, and as well as Council Creators tomorrow, I will be there. because my stupid ass fell asleep last week. So just keep that in mind. I will be on council tomorrow. Just a heads up. But yeah, that's about it, boys. Thank you for the invite, man.
Yeah, man. Jake.
You can find me at Drophead Jake on YouTube. I like Ron and Phil. I will be on the Party Nation stream in a few hours, and with the normal sorts of content that I do, whether it's occasional reactions to stuff like this. Mine is processing for the moment because my computer is a piece of shit. So that's rendering and processing at the moment. But then I do a bunch of breakdowns of different sorts of games, retro reviews, character costume breakdowns, all that sort of jazz. Can catch me on the Nerdcast Monday and Thursdays, Council on Wednesdays, and my own series, Jake's Lost Levels, on Sundays, where I play through a bunch of different games that I lost on one of my older consoles. And that's pretty much it. And like Phil said, thanks for the invite.
Beautiful. Of course, man. Brent.
You can catch me at Age of Grogu. I just did the trailer reaction to this morning, so go check it out. I'm also currently rewatching One Piece Season 1, the Netflix series, because of anticipation of the Season 2 dropping in a month's time. I'm very excited to see that. I will kind of jump around between different Star Wars unboxings, which I've been a little behind in getting things updated online. So and also just I build miniature models and stuff like that, so sometimes I'll drop a video on the making of how I'm putting it together and displays and things like that. So yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, folks, similar to Phil and Jake's stuff, you can see me at Party Nation on Tuesdays, Nerdcast on usually Mondays and Thursdays, Wednesdays on Council of Creators, Fridays sometimes with Film Junkie, and yeah, I have my reaction up on my channel. Share this stream, share that reaction, let the word out know that if you're a Star Wars fan, you want to hang out with us here. Don't be surprised if you see these fellas throughout the rest of the year with talking about the film, Ahsoka, Maul, other stuff going on. And yeah, folks, stay safe out there. Share all the enthusiasm, y'all. Stay safe. May the force be with you. And this is the way. Have a good night or good night. Have a good day, everybody.